Yeah, hi Tim. This time I'm going to talk about a cutback. I've got a model here. It's actually Julian Wilson. So, normally I sort of am very careful who I choose to put you up against, but um, I think Julian Wilson is a good model for you at your standard surfing. So I think we'll use him. And basically, when we look at a cutback, it comes into several components once again. One's obviously a quality bottom turn. The next thing is hit it high and tight, the first part. Think of that figure eight. Twist and hold the T position. I'll talk about that in a moment. And the last thing is to rebound high off the whitewater. So I'll just play it through fairly slow, and you can have a look at what I'm talking about, hitting high and then coming back round and rebounding off the whitewater. Now you can see our model executes that quite well, and what I'm going to try and do is talk you through the situation to try and get you to be able to do exactly the same thing. So the first thing we're talking about is a quality bottom turn. As I move a few frames through, you can see that the quality of the bottom turn from Julian is just probably top notch. He's got his hand out here, as we spoke about before. He's got bend in the body. The angle that we're looking at him, we can see him quite clearly, but if I was looking from over this point and looking from here towards the beach, chances are all I'd see is his backside sticking up and rail of his surfboard, which is what we want. You can see that you've actually made an attempt from here. You've actually started coming off the bottom by now, but you actually have got the board on rail, which we can see over there in your frame as well. The next thing is to make sure you hit it high, and we go through a few more frames here. Excuse the noise, but that's the best way for me to do it here. You can see that you're already at the top of where you're turning, so your point of hitting high and tight is basically here. Okay, that's where you've reached the top of your wave, if you like. We'll move on a little bit further and we'll see where Julian gets to hit. Okay, so Julian has actually got that front foot above the lip line, which is what I was talking about for re-entries. Similar thing. Okay, so his point of contact is up here. Now it doesn't seem much of a difference, but it is quite a bit of difference if you want a quality turn. We're now also looking at the fact that the next component is twist and hold that T position. So as I move through a few more frames, you've both got quite a good T position. If I look at Julian here, that's what I'm talking about as far as the T position goes, down here like that. You have got a little bit too much weight over your front foot, caused by the fact, if I look at Julian's trunk, can you see how it's quite bent? Whereas if I look at you, the top half there is quite tall and then there's a slight bend there. So that bending and leaning with that front arm, your front arm's leaning quite well, your back arm's up in a pretty good position, perhaps maybe a little bit too over top of your head, but overall it's not too bad. My suggestion would be to get lower and to hold that position, that T position, down with that front arm down a little bit more. Get rid of that. And the last thing here that we want to talk about is that rebounding high off the whitewater. So I'll just play through a little bit here. And what's happened here is you've basically hit around about here, okay? Whereas Julian, if you can see this, he's taken his T position, come down here and come up and hit, and he's going to come back down like that to form that figure eight, because that's what it is. Alright, so forming that figure eight can only happen if you hit it high on the first hit and high in the second hit and rebound deep off the whitewater. That's what the judges want to see, and that's our definition of excellent surfing. Overall, not a bad cutback, don't get me wrong, but if you, and I know you do, want to get to surf your best, that's what we need to think about. So just go over it one more time and we'll play back through. So we're thinking about, first thing is quality bottom turn. The second thing you need to be thinking about is hitting high and tight. The next thing is twist and hold that T position. And the next thing is rebound high off the whitewater. So let's have a look one more time, play it through at normal speed, see what we think. Okay, so there's some improvements you can make. Hope that helps, and catch you soon. See you, Tim.